All right, today we're doing something really cool. We're going to go on this incredible journey deep inside the blueprint of life itself. We're talking about how you, me, and pretty much every living thing are built, right from the very bottom.
So have you ever really stopped to think about it? You see a complex creature, but what's really going on under the hood? Well, to find out, we've got to kind of shrink ourselves down, and take a tour from the world we see every day, all the way down to the microscopic.
So, let's start this great zoom in. We'll begin with something familiar and then peel back the layers one by one to see what's really there.
Okay, so here we are at the top level. We've got the whole organism, in this case, a deer. A complex, living thing for sure. But here's the thing, it's not just one single entity. It's actually a collection of all these different systems, all working together perfectly. Let's zoom in a bit closer. Now we can see the organ systems. You can think of them like different departments in a huge company, like the circulatory system right here. Each one has its own super important job to keep the whole operation running smoothly. And what are those departments made of? Well, they're built from organs. So for the circulatory system, the big star of the show is, you guessed it, the heart. It's just this incredible, powerful pump designed for one specific, absolutely vital task, moving blood around. Okay, let's keep going. What's an organ like the heart actually made from? Tissues. And a tissue, like the heart muscle you see here, is basically a whole team of identical cells all doing the exact same job, all working together in perfect harmony. And that brings us all the way down to the foundation, the single cell. Everything we've seen, the tissues, the organs, the systems, the entire deer, it's all built from these amazing little microscopic units. This, right here, is the fundamental building block of life. Okay, so we made it to the cell, but what's inside? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not just some empty bag of goo. No way! It's more like a bustling, super-organized city, packed with tiny structures called organelles, and every single one has a critical job to do. And this is where things get really cool. For a long, long time, all we had were light microscopes. They showed us the basics, the outline of the cell, but then came the electron microscope, and wow, it just blew the doors wide open. It let us see this hidden world inside, all the incredible little machines, the organelles, that are actually running the show. So let's do a quick tour of this cellular city and meet the VIPs. First, you've got the nucleus. That's the control center, the head office, holding all the genetic blueprints. Then there are the mitochondria. These are the power plants, just churning out energy 24/7. The cell membrane, that's your security gate, deciding what comes in and what goes out. The whole thing is filled with cytoplasm, which is like the factory floor where all the chemical reactions happen. And on that floor, you have the ribosomes, the tiny assembly workers, busy building all the proteins that make life, well, life.
Okay, so that's the basic city plan, right? But here's the twist. There isn't just one kind of city. Life really follows two majorly different blueprints, and that creates some really important differences, especially when you look at plants versus animals.
And here we go, side by side. At first glance, they look pretty similar, don't they? They both got a nucleus, cytoplasm, a cell membrane, all the basics we just talked about. But take a closer look. Can you spot the things that make that plant cell on the right so different?
It really comes down to three key things that plant cells have and animal cells don't. First, they've got a tough, rigid cell wall made of cellulose. That's what gives them support and that classic boxy shape. Second, they have chloroplasts. Think of these as little solar panels, the site of photosynthesis where they make their own food. And third, they have that huge permanent vacuole, which is basically a big storage tank for water that also helps keep the cell nice and firm.
But here's where it gets even more amazing. In a complex organism, most cells don't just stay generic, all-purpose models. No, they go through training. They become highly skilled specialists, perfectly designed for one particular job. So let's meet some of these specialists.
This whole process of a cell getting its special job, it's called differentiation. And it is, frankly, mind-blowing. Think about it. This is how a single fertilized egg can grow into a whole person, with hundreds of different kinds of cells. Brain cells, skin cells, muscle cells, you name it. And all the instructions for every one of these jobs are written right there in the genes, tucked away inside the nucleus.
All right, first up on our tour of specialists, the sperm cell. You could call this a biological torpedo. It has one mission and one mission only: swim a long way and deliver its genetic cargo to an egg. Its whole design is about getting that one job done.
And its design is just a perfect example of form-following function. It's got that long tail, the flagellum, for swimming. Its middle section is absolutely packed with mitochondria, remember those power plants, to provide the fuel for that long journey. And the head has a special cap called the acrosome, which is full of digestive enzymes to help it break into the egg. It's literally a perfect little biological machine.
Next up, we've got the nerve cell, also known as a neuron. Now these are the high-speed messengers of the body. They're the living wires that make up our entire communication network, zapping electrical signals around at crazy speeds.
And again, its whole design is built for its job: speed and connection. It's super long, so it can carry a message a long way. It's got all these branches at the ends to connect up with lots of other cells. And, just like an electrical cable, it's insulated with a fatty sheath to make sure that nerve impulse travels as fast as humanly possible.
Okay, let's switch gears and look at a plant specialist. This little guy is a root hair cell. You find them on the very tips of plant roots, and their entire purpose in life is to suck up as much water and minerals from the soil as they possibly can.
And its design for this job is just pure genius. It's got that long, skinny hair extension, which gives it a massive surface area for soaking things up. The walls are super thin, so water can get through easily. And hey, notice what's missing? No chloroplasts. Why? Well, it lives underground, in the dark. It doesn't need to photosynthesize, so it doesn't waste energy making them.
So we've met some of the incredible specialists. Now let's pull the camera back. Let's zoom out and see how all these different specialized cells come together to build that complex organism we started with.
It's this really beautiful pyramid of life, you know? You start with specialized cells like muscle or nerve cells. A bunch of those team up to form a tissue. Different tissues then combine to build an organ, like the heart or the brain. Those organs work together in an organ system, and finally, all those systems work in concert to make the complete living organism.
But you might be wondering, how do we even know all this? How do we see this hidden universe? The key, of course, is magnification. Tools like the microscope are our window. They don't just let scientists see these tiny things, they let them measure them with incredible accuracy. It's how we turn blurry little shapes into the hard science that unlock the secrets of the cell.
So there you have it. We went from a deer all the way down to a single cell and all the way back up again. We've seen just how life is organized with this absolutely breathtaking complexity. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? If all of this is going on at a microscopic level inside every single living thing, what other amazing hidden worlds are out there, just waiting for us to find them, right beyond the edge of what we can see?